Hello everybody. Welcome back for another video. Hope you're all doing well. Hope you're all doing absolutely fantastic. And that you're all having a great day. Don't forget to leave a like on the video. It's a free and easy way to support the channel. And without any further ado, let's jump right into it. We continue on our, I was going to say slope, but what's the inverse of a slope? Is it a hill? We continue our ascent within the cryptocurrency space as we continue to get a broad range of adoption news between companies buying Bitcoin and banks accepting Bitcoin and using Bitcoin for mortgages and Bitcoin for 401ks and all these other types of things. It doesn't show at all any signs of slowing down. We currently only have around 160, 170, depends on what number you're looking at, public companies who have announced their foray into the Bitcoin cryptocurrency reserve kind of space. We're still missing about a good 180,000 other companies around the world. And they will also follow suit because we keep getting news about how accepted Bitcoin and cryptocurrencies are everywhere. London-based global banking group, they are called Standard Chartered, has pioneered what they're calling a groundbreaking service for their corporate clients, introducing spot Bitcoin and spot Ethereum trading as the first global bank to do so. Initially offered through their UK branches, the new service is accessible, there we go, during Asian and European trading hours. There is a potential consideration to extending this to this one threw me for a loop at first. They're thinking of extending it to a 24/5 operational model. And I was like, 24/5 doesn't know. Oh, I get it. So normally it would be 24/7. But they're literally just thinking of do it on Mondays and Fridays. I don't know if you were here. This was 2 months ago. We heard rumors, and I assume they were true. We heard rumors that apparently the NASDAQ and the New York Stock Exchange were rumored to be thinking about changing their operational hours or like actual online trading to 24 hours a day. Do you know why? It's because crypto is 24 hours a day. There's not a time limit. Like you can go on Binance at 2 a.m. and buy, sell, and trade crypto. Every other financial space in the world does not do that. So now we're getting a lot of companies talking about they're offering crypto services or that they have an app for people to be able to use. And it's not even like for futures. Like for stocks, you literally, futures were showing what's going to happen when the market opens. No, crypto's 24/7, and it's actually causing a bit of a disturbance in the traditional financial world as they realize like, hey, people also want to make money on a Saturday and a Sunday. Somebody might want to put in anyway. Transactions are integrated into familiar FX interfaces, while asset custody is managed internally or according to client preference. Standard Chartered aims to position itself at the core of the growing corporate demand for digital currencies. The way that it normally works out is a company announces they're into crypto. Am I insane? Isn't Standard Chartered the aren't they the company who is like backing Ethereum, like they have like an Ethereum reserve or something? What does Standard Chartered do? They were in the news more the last couple of years, but we haven't really heard about them as of late. But I know they're like crypto heavy. They've mentioned that a couple of times. The way that it normally works is we hear that a company is interested in crypto, they start buying crypto, and then they announce that they're going to allow their institutional clients to have first dibs at crypto. I don't know why they do it this way. I assume it has to do with like liquidity pools and market makers and wanting these people to kind of, I guess, want their stuff on that platform. I don't know, and is not really that important, because usually when things like this happen, not that it's not, oh my gosh, wow, kind of news. It's just more of a corporate clients have been using OTC counters. They've been going to Binance. They've been going to Coinbase. So this is kind of like, this is usually one of those things where the institution realizes that they could also be making a large amount of money. They decide to do so, and then they kind of do it this way. But the next step then ends up being them opening their crypto buying and all the other shebangs to their normal retail clients. And it's like, it's a nice gesture, but it's also like, if people really want crypto, and I mean this nicely, if people really want crypto, nobody was waiting for Standard Chartered to like allow crypto trading. They've been doing it for years, other places. So cool. We're seeing, I mean, this is commonplace now. We're seeing more and more banks and institutions getting into crypto and diving deeper every single day, because it just makes a lot of sense. This is clearly the future from all the news that we've been getting, and nicely said. Anyone who's not in the market is just going to be left behind. That's just simple logic. That's the Standard Chartered is opening up Bitcoin and Ethereum trading to their corporate clients. And yeah, let's move on. Also in what can only be deemed as very surprising news, as we have never, ever received any kind of news like this before. It's actually a bit shocking. I'm going to ask some of you to sit down, because I don't think that you're going to be able to deal with just how crazy this actually is. A company by the name of Animoca Brands is apparently expanding their role as a Web3 and gaming fund, recently joining a company by the name of DDC Enterprise in a bid to expand their Bitcoin treasury. Surprise! Yeah! Another company has announced that they're going to be buying more Bitcoin, expanding their treasury, basically trying to front-run BlackRock, Michael Saylor, and the entirety of the United States of America, as we continue to hear on a daily basis about companies who are buying huge amounts of Bitcoin. It says the venture capital fund and gaming startup will contribute up to $100 million US for its treasury strategy, which seems relatively commonplace. Most companies do over 100 million. If that doesn't ring alarm bells in some sort of way for you, I don't know how to make you a believer in any sort of way. We used to have companies announcing 1 million, 3 million, 7 million. There are still some. Some in the news will announce their initial purchase is 5 million, 10 million, and then they're doing another fundraising round for 25 million. But the general number right now seems to always revolve over $100 million as their initial buying amount. Animoca Brands, Animoca? No, I was right. Animoca. They misspelled it. They spelled it Anomica. Brands struck a partnership with DDC Enterprise with the goal of injecting $100 million US for Bitcoin treasury expansion. With this move, Animoca Brands shift its attention from Web3 startups and games, aiming to allocate a part of its assets back into Bitcoin. I think Web3 is still a thing. This was very popular around 2, 3, 4 years ago. There was this kind of idea that everything was going to be metaversey and we'd all be wearing headsets and other things like that. I think it must still be a thing in some sort of capacity, but usually what ends up happening is that crypto companies tend to follow trends. And it's not that I would call excessive Bitcoin buying a trend. More of it's everywhere. So I simply think that everyone is like, we have to do this. I mentioned that before. Metaplanet wants to buy, I think the number, is 100,000 Bitcoin this year. The issue ends up being, if Bitcoin's at $80,000 and you're used to putting in money at $80,000, when Bitcoin goes to $95,000, you need a lot more money to be able to hit those goals. If Bitcoin goes to 110,000, well, guess what, buddy boy? You know, that money that you need a good extra percentage. So as Bitcoin keeps rising rapidly in value and price, this is why I think we're seeing these companies announcing these things. I think a lot of these companies thought that they simply had more time. I assume they were like, okay, maybe in 2 years we'll do it. If Bitcoin goes to 180,000, they're going to be in trouble. How do you continue? You need double the money to be able to accumulate that same 100,000 Bitcoin. Nonetheless, the 210,000 Bitcoin that they want to accumulate. So, So far, Animoca Brands has raised $825 million US, which have been used. There we go. For its own games as well as for startups. The company started its fundraising efforts in 2015 and continued through several bull markets. So, yeah, I remember Animoca Brands from years ago, and I assume I give it 3 weeks, maybe 2.5, that we're going to hear about them again and how much money that they've raised to buy some Bitcoin, because that seems to be the general trend for how things work out within this market. So, yeah, another company, another day. Yeah, let's move on. Also wow, that's cool. I didn't know that was possible. Japanese listed firm, they're called Remix Point, has apparently become the first country to pay its CEO entirely in Bitcoin, aligning executive incentives with shareholder value and showcasing its commitment to crypto-centric corporate strategy. Part of me wishes I had dug a little bit further before the video. I'm certain there was another CEO who got his pay in Bitcoin already. I'm certain. Over the last 10 years, there were multiple basketball players within the NBA. There was the mayor of Miami. There was the mayor of New York for a time. Who else did it? I'm certain there was another CEO, or maybe the head of a company. Maybe not the term CEO, but I'm certain there was another one. It's not that it's not, whoa, but it's also not brand new. This isn't the first thing that's we've been doing this for years. You can even, you don't have to Google it, but I think France was the first company, 2014, 2015. I think they began to pay half the salary of their workers in Bitcoin. I think that was the first instant that we publicly heard about it. There were football stars who were doing it. I think the NBA one made the biggest news because it was one player, then another player, then it kept on kind of going. I want to say someone in tennis as well was also getting essentially paid in Bitcoin. This was back when it was a big deal to be able to even swap a large amount of money from fiat into Bitcoin into someone's salary. That was a big multi-step thing that had to go through BitPay and all these other it was really the olden days. So yeah, this one made the news. It was slightly popular news. It's not that it's not fantastic, but it's okay, cool, rich person's gonna get richer. Whatever his CEO pay is, I'm going to assume it's several $1 million. If he's already getting paid that much, he doesn't need that money. So he's going to put that Bitcoin into a wallet somewhere. And then we are going to hear in the news in 2 or 3 years that the money he got paid is now 180 million, and we're going to go, oh my gosh, that's so crazy. Look at how rich he got. It says a first for Japan as Remix Point links executive pay to Bitcoin. Remix Point, a Tokyo-listed firm bridging crypto, energy, and Web3 innovation. I guess Web3 is still a thing. Has announced a landmark decision. Its president and representative director will receive 100% of their executive compensation. Is crazy. Just say their paycheck. Just like executive compensation makes it seem okay in Bitcoin. This marks an historic first for a public company in Japan, reflecting a shift towards crypto-driven corporate alignment with shareholders. I don't think this person's going to be the last one. This is probably going to start knocking down a number of dominoes. Realistically, if all these companies are accumulating Bitcoin, if their share price is skyrocketing due to them buying Bitcoin, I assume we're going to hear more executives and their compensation being announced that it's going to be in Bitcoin just for the sake of pure logic. As the world keeps changing, I will announce, I hope that you continue changing with it. Please do not forget how important it is that you are this early in the market. Do not forget it. The world is changing very quick. You need to be a part of it. I told you before, and I will say it again, based off of pure logic and everything that we are hearing, I will say the words, you need to own crypto. Like really, realistically, because everything is changing. You have to change with it. I do not want in 3, 4, 5 years, I don't want people in the comment section saying, oh, I wish I had bought. I was waiting for prices to go lower. The market's not waiting for you. Rich people aren't waiting for you. Bitcoin's not waiting for you. These people are getting their salaries in Bitcoin. Like, they want as much as possible. We know for a fact that the amount of crypto on exchanges continues to dwindle. The amount of companies announcing that they're buying Bitcoin continues to rise. At some point in the near future, there will not be enough left. I do sincerely hope that you have all enjoyed. I do hope that you all are having a great day, morning, afternoon, evening, wherever you are, wherever you might be. I do hope that it is absolutely fantastic. Thank you all once again for watching, listening, liking, commenting, and supporting, and I will most certainly be talking to you all soon. See you.